Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fort Scott Sports Live here in Arnold Arena. Just got done with the volleyball season. Now we're right into basketball, women's basketball up first. And we've got men's basketball for you around the corner this Saturday. But tonight, the Northern Oklahoma Enid Lady Jets taking on the Lady Greyhounds here at home. I'm Drake Miller, joined by Zach Fairbaugh. Zach, what are you thinking about this matchup? You know, Fort Scott only one game down into this season so far, and they've got the dub. What are you thinking rolling into this game so early in the season?
Both teams have been shooting great from three so far. I mean, the Greyhounds are sitting right at about 39%, and Northern Oklahoma sitting at about 36.5%. Not very many games so far, so you maybe don't expect that pace to keep up, but limiting the three-point opportunities for both teams is going to be huge. And it also just looks like this Fort Scott team has a little bit of a size advantage going against these Jets. I think take advantage of that, get down low, kick it out, create opportunities with that size, and use it to your advantage, keep some big lineups in, play some defense.
Definitely know working that baseline at home is one of the key factors to basketball just in general, both sides, women's and men's basketball. But taking down Haskell, 81-48, a dominant victory, probably walking into that one thinking, yeah, we got this, and didn't come up short, which was definitely important. Now you roll into this one, Northern Oklahoma College-Enid, your first or your second home game this season, and you're just kind of rolling into things like, you know, what's the mentality going into a season like this just so early on?
Yeah, you know, they're really just dipping their toes in the water, trying to see what their team is best at come game time. I mean, obviously you can rep your stuff in practice, but you'll never get that full feel in practice, how it feels just getting the game, and everyone's playing as hard as they can to get that win. So you really start to learn more about your team. Yeah, adjust your play style a little bit as it starts to go on. So I feel like this will be a fun game to see how they adjust mid-game so early on in the season. I mean, we could see some pretty big swings maybe in coaching adjustments just this game since it's so early on.
Yeah, I definitely agree. As these viewers probably know, Northern Oklahoma Enid playing away, don't have a home layout, so just playing away pretty much the entire beginning of this season, and it can be a little bit tough, you know, just having to travel all this time. But going against Fort Scott, they're 2-0 right now. Played at McPherson and at Bethany College and won both of those contests. At Bethany was the closest, being a 13-point difference. And then at McPherson, a huge difference. 49 points is what separated that game right there. Now you roll into a pretty good competitor, a competitor that's known for being very competitive, and also, as you said before, shooting very well from three. They've got the size advantage down low. What do you think for this Northern Oklahoma team is going to be the attacking point on defense?
I think maybe using the speed on the perimeter. I mean, they're starting 4 guards and just 1 forward. So, I mean, using that speed, maybe some pick and roll with that forward to just create any advantage you can. I mean, drive in, kick out, do that, get the defense in rotation, and if they run a zone, just start to pick them off from 3.
Yeah, I totally agree. Working that perimeter, they're definitely, or I would assume they're probably going to run like a 4-1 in, kind of a shell outside of the perimeter, try to spread the ball out a little bit, keep that Fort Scott team moving as much as possible. As you said, starting 4 guards, 1 forward. Fort Scott starting a center, a guard, a forward, and then 2 other guards. So 3 guards, a forward, and a center. That traditional kind of lineup that you see most teams try to adapt to. And that's, I think that's textbook basketball, and that's what makes it so advantageous towards the Greyhounds right now, is that you watch all these teams, professionals, JUCOs, D1s, all these teams try to adapt to that 1 center, 1 or 2 forwards, and then 2 or 3 guard type of scenario. And you've just got a playbook, a surplus of plays that you can just kind of adapt that formula around. Whereas Enid, on the other side, you're kind of creating your own. It's like a DIY project. You're running a 4 guard, 1 forward. not even really a designated center if you want to go that far, and you're trying to build something out of that, it can get a little bit tricky. But I think it's still a very traditional lineup. You're going to be seeing them work the perimeter, like you said, and really just trying to drive inside fast and not really powerful.
And I think one of the biggest disadvantage that maybe more of a small ball look would give you is mainly boards. You need to get rebounds. You need to close possessions defensively, get the rebounds, get your fast break going since you got so many speedy, quick guards. And really, one of the main things that's about new basketball, I think versatility and having players to come off your bench and fill different roles is just getting more and more important because there's so many roles to fill. You need a shooter, wing defender, post defender, handler. You need all those different roles on a basketball team. So people coming in off your bench and gives you a different look, something different than your starters, is just so important in today's game.
Yeah, and I think, shortening those defensive possessions, I'm going to kind of lay out a key to the game here for Northern Oklahoma, and that's going to be getting those missed two-pointers. They're going to happen. They happen in every layer and every form of basketball. You're going to go up, go for a layup, and miss the two, or miss just kind of a shorty two. That's going to be your best chance at a board. You've got the people underneath moving a lot, whereas a three, probably going to project off the rim pretty vertical or just kind of kick out to the outside. You can't really adapt to a three rebound, whereas the two rebound, it's going to be landing somewhere near the rim on the floor. You got to be able to move underneath and protect that ball, bring it down in your arms and not in your opponent's. For Fort Scott, though, I feel like the key for them is hanging on to the ball. It's possession time. Being able to control the clock. And I'm saying this almost kind of in a football sense because I'm just coming out of football season, but being able to control that possession is going to be key. Hanging on to the ball, even when you miss that percentage, you give yourself so much room for error. If you're able to get that rebound number up, you don't have to have the high field goal percentage. So making sure that you're giving yourself the utmost opportunities to score on offense and also just cutting those defensive stands short is going to be really key.
Yeah, and I mean, the best way to score is right after an offensive rebound. I mean, it puts the defense in total scramble drill after they just tried to go get that board. So that'll be really important. And you mentioned kind of a
selling equipment
parallel you were taking it to, and I think that's kind of important with how physical this Fort Scott team can be with this size advantage, and just using that size to, again, get those rebounds and set up a defense mainly. You want to control the paint. Even if this is more of a three-point shooting team, you want to control the paint, limit the easiest shots in the game right at the rim.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, we'll go ahead and send it to our first break here on Fort Scott Sports Live, starting off the women's basketball season. We'll be right back with the starting lineups. Stay tuned.
Selling equipment can be a hassle, whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire. The time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com. Call service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, outstanding in their field. Calls carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Calls continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com. You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
At the farm.
Back on for Fort Scott Sports Live. If you're just now joining us, I'm Drake Miller, joined by Zach Fairbaugh. We're gonna kick it off with some starting lineups here. Zach, why don't you give us the Lady Jets?
And starting for some guard positions, Savannah King and Kinley Lemons, while Lidney Mikesell is sitting at the small forward. We got Lekna Hardy and Jana Coleman starting at that center position.
And then on the Greyhounds side, you've got Jasmine McArthur, Sophia Fedina, both at the guard position. Last guard, Ashley Pula. And then Caitlin Foltz at forward and Mariah Moss at center. We're gonna go ahead and step aside for the national anthem, and we'll be right back. As they introduce starters, we'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about this contest, as it's kind of a season opener, a little bit in some terms for both of these teams. I think really when you look at season openers, especially in these high contest seasons, you know, basketball, baseball, those kinds of sports, you're looking at like the first 3, 4, 5. I think whenever you look at that, you really get to encapsulate, oh, this is how we've opened up our season. It wasn't 1-0 or 2-0. It was 3-2 or 4-1, you know, something like that. And that's how you really view the season opener. And I think that's how people really grasp what is this team capable of this season and what can I expect going forward.
Yeah, it's important to not get too down on yourself or to not get too happy early season. I mean, you want to continue to go back to practice every day with that same mentality. So coming in early, you just like to see maybe the young players, how they come out, see their energy and how they gel with the team, and just make adjustments from there. Every game, every practice, just adjusting, tweaking little things here early season, and just see how that first, you know, stretch goes in the early season.
Yeah, I think that those initial stretches, it's going to be key to kick off that mentality. It's so much more difficult to get a team back on the right track than to start on the right track and then keep them kind of in the barricades. You know, it's like playing bowling with bumpers. Once you get on the right track, once you've got it laid out for them, a lot easier to keep it in the lane than trying to keep it in the lane without having that initial standpoint to go off of, that initial base to kind of that foundation to go off of. We're just moments away from tip-off. The women's basketball opener here on Fort Scott Sports Live. Now, I got to tell you, Zach, I've been pumped for this moment. I've been really excited to get basketball season underway.
I mean, yeah, you know, it's starting to get colder outside. You're really starting to feel it in your bones. I mean, basketball season is coming. This band, you know, is playing great here in Fort Scott. It's been a really great football season, but I am just ready for some basketball to get underway.
And not to mention, this was the first sport that I ever called. It's kind of that foundation for me. So I've just been real pumped up. Tip-off goes in favor of the Greyhounds, as they will work their way around the perimeter. basketball now. Fedina over to Fultz. And they continue passing the rock. Trying to work it inside to Moss. Moss fighting through some physicality. Won't go on the first. The rebound by Fultz won't go either. Not a bad start for either team.
Yeah, I did like that look from Moss. Get deep into the post and look for some shooters outside or try to make a play there from her own.
This one's tipped out by Moss. On the drive inside, Hardy, who was in on the tip-off as well, that forward for the Lady Jets. On the inbound, King works it in. Jets setting up a motion offense, man defense coming out the gate from the Greyhounds, and we've got it working inside. Hardy, or excuse me, that's King off the backboard. Hardy gets the rebound. King works it inside. Reverse won't go from the guard, Lemons. Now back the other way. Fort Scott's fast break, no dice.
And yeah, we saw Fort Scott there in what looked like a 5-out, so they're trying to get some speed. It was a good cut there.
Man defense out of both of these teams, it looks like. Coming out the gates.
Kind of what you expect when both teams have been shooting hot early season.
Fort Scott continuing to work the perimeter, trying to get it inside. They clear out the lane and going to the hoop. Fedina gets the first point.
And they were challenging Fedina's left there. They were saying she can't go left. That time she says, hey, guard me both ways.
Back inside, and it's taken away by Fultz. MacArthur, primary points for the Greyhounds. Moss works it to her left, driving inside. No good on the shot from Pala. And now King. The Jets will keep it wide out, kind of what I was hinting at before, at almost 5 wide shell on the perimeter as Hardy tries to get another after the board, won't go. Rebound Moss. Inside, Pua has to kick it out. Shot clock at 15. Shot clock now at 5. It's Fedina out to the corner. 3, no dice, off the rim. Moss gets the board, can't get it. Still 2-0.
We've seen some offensive rebounding here early from both teams, able to get their own offensive board. Maybe that time you'd like a kick out, but.
I like the mid-range two from Moss, but heavily contested as they're gonna kick it to King on the outside, right wing. Back to the left. On the drive, here comes Coleman, and no dice on that possession either. Over 3 minutes in and only 2 points scored. Make it 4 as Fultz breaks the drought.
Yeah, Fultz just running the floor there in a little fast break. A great run on the floor, great hustle, able to get 2 points easy at the rim.
Kick it to the outside, 3-point look from Mikesell. No dice off the back iron. This time MacArthur still leading the charge here for the Greyhounds, calling for a screen. Sets it up. Now gets another from Moss. Elevator screen, kicks it down low to the block. Moss drops it in. Greyhounds finding their groove here. And a foul called up top as it was Mikesell.
And I don't hate the foul. Fort Scott's been playing real physical this game, able to establish some position in the post. That time just a foul at the 3-point line. I mean, you love to see the effort. You can tell they're playing some defense.
Pula called for the foul. And now subbing in will be Jada Pascal alongside Adriana Moore for the Greyhounds. 3 from King, won't go. Rebound, Pascal. Here's MacArthur. Work the outside. MacArthur for three. Won't go. Rebound ends up in the hands of Foltz. Foltz kicks it out. Back to the outside, and they'll set up the offense once more.
This is what you want to see, though. Great movement of the ball. I mean, they're swinging it around, kicking, driving.
Foltz almost draws a foul. Great clean defense from the Lady Jets there, though. I mean, big kudos to them, as that was mere inches from drawing that shooting foul. King tries to set up the offense. Jets staying outside on the perimeter. Shot clock inside of 10. As it's Trammell trying to work inside the paint, and up top getting called for a travel, Letitia Hardy. We will get a timeout here. 4:43 remaining here in the first quarter, and we'll be right back.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Rass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Welcome back out of the media timeouts. 4:43 remaining in the first quarter.
Slightly lopsided first quarter, but I mean, it looks like the Jets are getting some good shots. They've had some opportunity from three, just haven't quite gotten them to fall.
Yeah, lopsided for sure score-wise, but or lopsided play-wise, but score-wise, it's very achievable by both of these teams to kick it into gear and make this a completely different game than it is. MacArthur will start off with the ball off the inbound. Gets a screen up top from Moore. Tries to work it down under. Picking it up is Pascal, who tries to kick it to Moore. King takes it away. Lady Jets trying to break down the floor and just a little too slow in their step. King on the right wing. Kicks it to the top of the key. Now back to the corner. Three from King. Off the front rim. Pascal on the rebound. MacArthur. Working the perimeter. Gets a screen from Moore. This time it's Fedina trying to work it down under, and Hardy gets the takeaway.
And now that Jets defense is playing with some power, they're in every passing lane. I mean, they're playing with some physicality and getting up there.
Kicks it to King once more. She tried earlier, front rim again. And this works its way out of bounds. As we'll see some substitutions here. Quite a few out of both of these squads. As now, no centers on the floor for the Greyhounds.
They got to get it in.
That's 5 seconds.
And that time, Fort Scott just covered that whole inbounds play. I mean, they had 3 options to get the ball to, but every one of them were smothered.
Yeah, perfect execution on the man defense. Just keeping it in the face. Can't afford a loose ball there if you're the Jets, but also you can't afford to just hang it on. You got to get it in.
you'd like to see an outlet back there somewhere to be able to toss it to in the backcourt.
Here's Pascal up top. Back to the top of the key with Poulin. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound Pascal. And MacArthur gets called for the travel. Couple of unforced errors by both of these teams as well. Just kind of things that a little bit nitpicky, but nitpicky not in a sense of officiating, but nitpicky in a way of you don't want to see that this early on in the game, especially when things are as slow as they're going to be.
And you can say it's good defense, but you would really like to see the offenses clean it up and maybe execute the way they want to execute and not have the defense telling them how to do it.
On the outside, trying to work in is Tatiana Cook. And now here's Trammell, who goes up and no good on the shot. Another travel call here. This time goes against Poulin.
That time they were trying to work it down the floor so quick. Maybe got a little bit sloppy there at the end, but yeah, I mean, they ran all the way down the floor right at the rim, and that's the unfortunate call about that.
Can't afford that on the fast break. Big opportunity there for Fort Scott as they had a one-on-one or even an advantage there, two-on-one situation. Now flipped on its head as the Jets take over. And the shot finally falls to break the ice for the Lady Jets. It'll be Kenley Lemons.
Lemons with a great cut down low. I mean, slicing through the defense, and that's what this offense relies on. Some great timed cuts to hit your players right at the basket.
Working the perimeter. Greyhounds without a center, working to Fultz. She fights through underneath and gets the two. Still up top. Kick it to the corner. The layup on the reverse, no good. Crabtree was up for that one. MacArthur tries to kick it low to Poulin. Won't go, it's taken away. Now back across the court. Coleman.
And it's really looking like both these teams want to play fast, want to get down the court, get as many shots as they can. Right now it's just looking a little bit too sloppy, a little bit not under control enough for either side.
Yeah, just some calls not going their way and a little bit of error on offense from both of these squads. On the left wing with Poulin. Back to the right side. Here's a shot. Won't go. Rebound, Coleman. Now it's Tatiana Cook. Working the up top. Reverse layup. It's good. Crabtree gets her get back there. Cuts the deficit down to 4. Here's a shot, MacArthur. Won't go, rebound Poulin, the mid-range too good. As we enter double digits here for the Greyhounds.
And you see right off that offensive rebound, it's a great time to shoot the ball. In a scramble drill defense, it was hard for them to get that shot covered.
Crabtree to the left. Working underneath is Coleman, and she gets fouled on her way to the bucket. She'll be headed to the line for 2, I believe.
Yeah, pretty physical drive there going into 2 Fort Scott defenders. Great job able to draw the foul and get to the line.
So Coleman, oh, they're gonna call it on the floor. Say she was still in the process of driving.
There's only 6 seconds left in this first quarter, so they'll have to try and find something quick.
Ball gets in finally, tipped. Coleman comes up with it. Has to get it away quickly. Crabtree goes up. A physical shot there as Moss came over the top, but nothing there for the Lady Jets. We'll take a break at the end of the first quarter, and we'll be right back with quarter number 2, 10-4.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawl-Can's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawl-Can. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Selling equipment can be a hassle, whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire. The time and energy.
Back on for quarter number 2.
In that first quarter, we really saw some physical defense. I mean, up until those last seconds, again, the Jets were trying to fight the ball in. It was right at about that 5-second limit, but they got it in, and it was a jump for the ball.
10 minutes on the clock as the Jets will start with possession. Very fast quarter, I might add. Not a lot of stoppages as the fouls were really coming in after the 6-minute mark, and now we see.
Yeah, maybe a little announcer's jinx there.
Yeah. That one gets delivered to number 11 of the Greyhounds. That's Sophia Fedina. Kick it in. Jets working underneath. Crabtree, her shot won't go.
And Crabtree's been great driving to the rim all night. Just haven't been quite able to get him to fall yet.
And now Fort Scott on the fast break will retain possession at their baseline. MacArthur kicks it in. Moss back to MacArthur. Good for 2.
Great play there off the inbound. Get it to your big man, get a little handoff to the guard, and it's wide open. Use that big man as a screen. It's a great possession there.
MacArthur playing up on Cook as they work the outside. Crabtree with a 3. No. MacArthur with the rebound. Going the other way. Greyhounds take a 3 opportunity short. Rebound Cook. She kicks it on the fast break. Coleman tries to capitalize. Off the board. Won't go. And 1. Bit of a messy couple of fast breaks there from both sides. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they're absolutely trying to run the floor. That time for the Jets, they kind of get a fortunate break there. I mean, missed the first one, but that's what running the floor gets you. I mean, they had 2 players down there to go get that rebound, and they got it.
That's the second foul called against Fedina. So she will sub out momentarily. 9:06 remaining in the first half. Coleman hits the deck on the far side. Moss on the fast break. Drives inside and called for a foul. That goes against Coleman, who is in pursuit.
And even though it has been a little bit sloppy so far, I do like both of these teams trying to push that pace and trying to get the ball on the other side of the court. It just helps out so much. Like just then get you an offensive rebound, and it got Fort Scott the foul call there. I just think it helps you in almost every way on the basketball court.
MacArthur works the top of the key. Now underneath, a great pass to Fultz. Pascal with the assist. And the Greyhounds claim another 2. Still haven't seen the three-point game open up yet for either of these squads. Working underneath is Hardy, can't find the lane. And it'll be back to the Greyhounds, who lead by 8. 8:23 on the clock. Fultz on the elbow. Over to Pula. Shot clock at 5. Pula works the outside, and you're going to see an offensive foul called. This one goes against Mariah Moss. Getting a little too physical underneath.
And it's right at the end of that shot clock there. Maybe not the worst turnover in the world. And you like to see the physicality too. You don't want to see him, you know, shying away from contact, maybe just a little bit too much that time.
So now Cook takes the point here for the Lady Jets. King is in. She was running the point earlier. She takes a 3. It bounces around, but no good. Won't make it to the bottom of the net just yet.
Yeah, King's release is just so fast. She can get it up over almost any of those girls, so I expect her to make some in this game.
Underneath, Fultz tries to find a spot, and she will be fouled on the floor. Lots of floor fouls coming in here. Not too many of them ending up in shooting fouls. We've only seen, I think, 1 or 2 visits to the line. Or no, 1 visit. 1 visit to the charity stripe, as this one's headed the other direction. Only 2 points scored so far by each of these teams.
Yeah, it's been kind of a slower second quarter here. They've been taking their time getting into some possessions, but still, I mean, the defenses this game have been playing great and just taking advantage of the opportunities the offenses have been giving them. I mean, if there's a pass that's a little bit lazy, they're taking advantage of that. You know, if there's some physicality, they're getting the foul call on that. Defenses have been doing great this game.
I think, man, defense is just one of those things that is so much more difficult to break down if it's played well. Zone defense, there's always going to be an open person. You know, you think about it that way. You just got to find them. Man, nobody's open. Everybody's slightly contested. You just kind of have to push through the physicality, as we've seen both of these teams do thus far. Now the Greyhounds going the other direction with some momentum on their side. Boulard works the underneath, gets the block, and 1.
That was a really physical drive there. I mean, able to absorb all the contact and put it in. That was great stuff.
Yeah, I like to see that kind of crow hop there at the end where you land on 1 foot and you kind of drive with it up to the basket. Good bucket by Pula. First odd number we've seen tonight. 17-6 comes across the board. 11-point lead for the Greyhounds. Under 7 minutes remaining in this first half. Underneath, Hardy goes up, gets fouled, and 1. Back to back. 1 from each team. This time the foul gets handed out to, I believe, is going to be Moore. No, that goes to Pascal. Saw it wrong.
And a great roll to the rim there after setting a screen. Gets her that and 1. And a great pass, too, from the guard.
$17-8 now. 9-point difference after the missed and 1. MacArthur kicks out to Bois. Drives off the side of the backboard, but gets fouled on her way. So now she'll be back to the charity stripe.
And another physical drive from her. I mean, just getting her shoulders up in the air and getting them towards that defender, able to draw the contact, even at a pretty difficult angle. I mean, that was a hard shot to try and make.
Connects on her first. Brings it to 18. Now staring down 19. And she'll get it. Those are important points. You know, so far we've only seen 3 shots from the charity stripe here from the Greyhounds, and they've connected on all 3. On the other side of the equation, though, had a couple of opportunities for the Jets. They're not doing too bad themselves, but you like to see the connection on free throws. Those can mean all the difference, especially in a game where defenses have been thriving and it's so low scoring.
Yeah, normally you'll see a little bit more foul calls too in a defensive game like this, so you get more free throws.
Cook kicks it out. Pump fake from Lemons. Back across, Cook for the 3. Can't go. And Pascal will be lightly injured.
Yeah, it looks like she could have shaken out. Maybe just a little light rolled ankle could have been. Yeah, she stayed out there on the floor.
19-9, it's a 10-point difference between the two teams as Moore heads to the top of the key to set a screen. Over to Pula. Drives underneath and gets fouled again on the shot. 3 consecutive visits to the charity stripe here for Pula.
And those last 2, I mean, they were almost exactly the same. Just put your shoulder down, get to the rim, and draw some contact.
Atiana Cook is given the foul.
Another thing about getting to the free throw line, it also just gives you a little chance to catch your breath here, you know, in the middle of a quarter. Regain some energy.
And Poulon misses her first tonight. 3 for 4. And make it 4 for 5. (20-9) as Greyhounds continue expanding on their lead. Tied for the highest lead tonight, 11 points. Working the outside, Crabtree kicks it underneath to Hardy. Hardy gets it poked away. Moore takes it away. And now MacArthur slowing the tempo to set up the offense.
That was a great double team in the post. I mean, just right when it hit the hands, immediately that double team came over to get the strip. I mean, they never even saw the other defender coming over to help.
Lemons playing up top on MacArthur. Catches a screen, tries to shake it off. Kicks it to Foltz for 3, short. And after hard fight for the ball, Greyhounds retain possession. Pascal moves it outside, Pula, wide open 3, won't go, rebound Hardy. Jets take over. Crabtree on the wing. Trying to dribble around defenders as she kicks it outside to King. King on the drive. Back out to Hardy. Hardy kicks it out to Lemons as she's tripped up, and that one's gonna go against Pula. And media timeout. We'll take a break. We'll be right back on Fort Scott Sports Live.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com. Call service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, well, outstanding in their field. Calls carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Calls continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com.
Back on Fort Scott Sports Live here in Arnold Arena. It's like an echo chamber in here with this band.
Yeah, they're
It's
giving
very
some
loud, yeah.
energy here for Fort Scott, and they've been playing with it.
Tell you what, I don't know how you are able to call a play in that timeout. It's almost makes you just deaf. Can't hear anything. Not that it's so loud it's making my ears ring, but you just literally can't hear anything.
That was hard for me to focus, you know.
Yeah, big advantage here for Fort Scott. You know, having that home arena draws up perfectly for you. Hardy with free throws, knocks down the first.
And we're seeing a little bit of fans come out from both teams. I mean, I'm seeing some Jets shirts in the crowd, seeing quite a bit of Fort Scott, so pretty good showing.
2 for 2 from the visit there out of Hardy. Pascal will come on for Fultz. Joining her on the floor as well as Jasmine Rasaw.
And Fort Scott's been scoring a little bit more this quarter. They've been on a little bit of a run. They've been just doing a great job getting the ball to the rim.
MacArthur to Pula. And back up top to Moss. Starting center back in the game. Moss outside the arc. Shot clock at 2. Has to go up with it. Did he get it? They'll say she did go for it, but did she grab the rim on that shot? I guess if it was touched by a defender, but.
It was a great save after that to keep it in bounds from Fort Scott, but.
A little confused on how that whole equation went down. Pascal takes a shot and won't grab the rim, so that's shot clock violation headed to the Jets.
Yeah, getting late here in this first half, you'd expect them to kind of start slowing the game down a little bit.
Yeah, you can see some of the exhaustion already setting in. These two teams playing very hard. Man, defense is just so exhausting. It's not like zone where you're just kind of protecting the same 5 feet the entire time. I mean, this is constantly moving, running, motion, screens, trying to work around them, and some physical basketball here. Blah, can't connect. Mikesel will head down the court.
Yeah, especially with the teams that are on the court. I mean, they're pretty small right now. It's so exhausting to keep up with these players.
Hardy tries to go up with it and can't get the bucket. Clock winding down. Nearing 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Block kicks it underneath.
Fort Scott's offensive game plan didn't really work here. They're going freestyle now.
MacArthur knives her way inside. Now here's Pua cutting open the lane, but too late. As we've got a halftime out here called on the floor. We'll take a break with them. Be right back on Fort Scott Sports Live.
You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
Back on after the ad break, minute 55. All that remains in this first half as 2 shot clock violations in a row here from the Greyhounds. Can kind of hear some of the frustration coming out of that side of the floor too. Is just expect a little bit of a higher quality product than what it was on those last 2 possessions. Hardy on the right wing. Back to the top with Lemons, and now Fort Scott takes over.
And that was great physical defense by Moss to cause that turnover.
Fedina managing the offense as they try to draw something up. They catch a screen. Fedina takes a long range too. It's short. Moss goes back up with it, can't grab. And it's tipped out of bounds by Rousseau.
And that's one important thing about not turning the ball over or getting that shot clock violation. I mean, just get the ball up there and you got a pretty good chance to go get that rebound with that size advantage. You see that time, Moss able to pull that one down.
Mikesell tries to drive, loses the ball. Hardy picks it up. Out to Crabtree, knifing inside, and a blocking foul called against Mariah Moss. 45 seconds remaining.
And Crabtree's been able to knife her way down inside all game. She's been really good at that, and now she's getting her opportunity to score at the line.
It's Moss's second foul called for the night. Moore looking to check in as Crabtree will grab the second of her 2 free throws. Makes it an even 8, the difference between these two. "15 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Fedina grabs a bucket.
Yeah, pretty little floater there on the baseline. I mean, just gets it up and over that defense. I mean, she knew what she wanted to do, and that was almost instinctual. Just put it up there.
The drought comes to an end for the Greyhounds. They've been scoreless for well over 4 minutes at that point. Take it underneath. Mikesell out to Hardy. Big man 3, no good. Hardy gets the board, drives underneath, open layup, no good, and that will be it for the first half. And talk about a low-scoring contest, 22-12. As we will take a break, be right back on Fort Scott Sports Live.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release Release the Crawkhead. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at bigironauctions.com. Call service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, well, outstanding in their field. Calls carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Calls continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call Service, 620-121. See more at callservicellc.com. You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawkhead. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Selling equipment can be a hassle, whether...
Welcome to the halftime show here, presented by Big Iron Auctions, here on Fort Scott Sports Live. Lady Jets taking the court once more as we got 9 minutes left in this halftime break. Let's go ahead and break down the first half. We talked about it being just a little bit messy, and as we look back on both of these teams and the scores that we've seen this season, you know, looking at the Lady Jets averaging well over at 88.5 points. in their 2 victories. And then you look at Fort Scott, who took their win 81-48 over Haskell. You know, what do you think these 2 teams are looking at whenever you see those wins, and now you're looking at this one, you're going, we're on pace for 44 or we're on pace for 24? Like, something's got to change.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for both these teams is they just don't look super confident taking some of these shots. I mean, I feel like they've been able to get the looks from 3, both of these teams, but just not able to capitalize on them and put them down in the net. So I'm thinking, I mean, just get your passes straight. You don't want near as many turnovers because you'd like to be able to get into that shooting rhythm. So even missed shots, instead of turning it over or having those 30-second violations, even just getting a shot up is just helpful to get you in rhythm and get you feeling better, playing better.
Yeah, I think there's just been a lot of opportunities that both of these teams have had and just not been able to capitalize on those fast break opportunities, open bucket looks, just things that aren't going their way. And you've got to see a little more production on both sides. For teams that are shooting as well as they are this season, it's got to be the man defense, because both of these teams are struggling tonight in comparison. You look at that, well over 30% from both squads. Right now, I'm not keeping the live stats and I don't have access to them, but I would say we're nearing 15%, 20% for some of these times, and just not looking very confident, even right under the basket. I mean, there have been opportunities for both of these squads. I'd just like to see both teams step up just a little bit, start to feel their rhythm again, fight through the physicality and man defense, and start to put some points on the board.
Yeah, I really just think passing that ball around, getting that ball movement on the perimeter or even in the post. We saw Forrest Scott with some really good big-to-big post passing, which had got him some pretty easy points. But, I mean, those passes are hard to do. And I just think getting the ball moving in general will help them with their confidence, getting able to drive past their defenders after an advantage that was created.
Yeah, so right now, Fort Scott, actually, I did get access to live stats. Fort Scott shooting 31% from the field, 9 for 29. And Northern Oklahoma, 4 of 24. That's 16%. So I was pretty close with the Northern Oklahoma estimate. But 0% from both from three-point range, and we've seen a total of 17 shots. Not the number you're wanting to come in. Northern Oklahoma has also missed 2 free throws of their 6. Fort Scott's only missed 1 of their 5. So pretty clean at the charity stripe. I like to see that percentage go up just a tad bit for Northern Oak. But the three-point percentage, it's not been there. It's non-existent right now, and both teams just a little bit cold coming into this first half. I like to see them step it up. You've got your warm-up reps in. You've seen the open looks. Now let's see them capitalize and fight through the physicality underneath.
Yeah, now that they're kind of used to and they might know what to expect coming into the second half, it might be a little more helpful for their rhythm, knowing how the defenders are going to guard them. And even just this little moment here to take a break and get your shot back under you, go get some warm-up shots in you. And both teams here with 6 turnovers so far. I mean, not bad, not awful. And they're really pushing that pace. And I would like to see him continue to push that pace, trying to get some easy shots, and this time just capitalize on some of those easy shots, get some looks from 3.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think, sometimes you step into a game, being an athlete myself, you walk up into a contest and everything that you're doing just feels a little bit foreign. Everything, it's just so uncomfortable, jagged, it's not fluid like it should be. When you practice something for so long, it feels so fluid. It feels so natural. It's just kind of this muscle memory and and it's almost unnatural to do anything different about it. And then occasionally you come time for a game, maybe you haven't shot a basketball in a couple of days, or you haven't shot it in even a couple of hours, and all of a sudden things just feel so weird. And I think for this, that's kind of a great way to describe what I'm seeing right now for both of these teams. Things just feel weird. They feel a little bit unnatural. They feel a little bit jagged, sometimes a little bit forceful. And I'd like to see both teams just kind of get back into that flow, find their rhythm, start to make everything just muscle memory and quit trying to force something that you're not used to doing. Don't make the tweaks. Just let your body do what it naturally is practiced and conditioned to do. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take one more break here on the halftime show, and we'll be right back for the second half of action.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com. Call service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, well, outstanding in their field. Calls carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Calls continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com. You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at VarsitySportsLive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast CrawlCan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the CrawlCan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe...
Back on for Fort Scott Sports Live. 10 minutes on the clock for quarter number 3. As we get underway here, second half of action. Booting up, 22-12 is the score. MacArthur tries to take a shot. Rebound Moss, no good on the putback as Coleman takes over for the Lady Jets.
And for both teams here, you're almost wanting to just forget that first half, get back to what you want to do, and get back to what you practiced over the summer.
Coleman step back long 2 look. No good, but a lot better than some of the stuff we've seen out of the Lady Jets thus far. It's been pretty rough from the floor. Pua goes up, rolls around the back iron. No good. Meixel on the fast break, trying to get past Moss. Won't go. It dances around the rim. She gets a mid-range 2. That won't go either. Rebound King. The third try as she drives in underneath. No good. 0 for 3 from the Jets on that possession as Pua, no good on the 3-point shots. Fultz, though, finally breaks the ice. Thought I was gonna get the 3 there.
And we're starting to see some offensive rebounds from both teams, starting to get physical, go to that rim and go jump and get those balls.
Yeah, you can definitely see the change in energy already for both squads as Coleman tries to work the underneath. They'll continue to work the outside. Hardy puts up a shot, no good. Rebound MacArthur. MacArthur, a great pass underneath. Fadina finishes.
Yeah, I mean, what a needle threader pass. I mean, a bounce pass and a fast break in between 2 defenders. Terrific setup for the easy deuce.
And some frustration on the bench of the Lady Jets, and rightfully so. We're gonna keep it here for now as we talk about what went down in that first 1 minute and 50 seconds. Lady Jets with a ton of opportunities there, Zach, and none of them connecting. I would even say they had more opportunities than that of Fort Scott. They had more chances to score and just weren't able to capitalize.
Yeah, I mean, some of those possessions were right at the rim and maybe not a defender close to them. I mean, you got to finish those, and you got to forget them now, too. You got to keep going, keep playing, and try and find some more shots just like that. It's good that you know you can generate those shots. Now you just got to hit them.
I completely agree there. As just a few more seconds remain in this timeout break. But like you said, just generating those shots and finding the bottom of the bucket on a majority of those is going to be key.
Yeah, you never like to see a timeout right after halftime, but if you need it, you need it. You'd like to see it jumpstart some energy in these Jets and like to see them, the comeback starts now, you know?
Yeah, you can see they're a little more bouncy on their toes. They're moving a lot quicker than they were towards the end of that first half. You like to see that. Just need to connect on the plays. Coleman will make a heads-up play there on the baseline, and that makes its way out of bounds off the kneecap of Fadina of the Greyhounds.
Yeah, great play there from Coleman. Also great from that Fort Scott team. I mean, just swarming Coleman right when she touches the ball.
Coleman puts up a shot. It arcs over the rim and won't find the bucket just yet. Still dry here in the second quarter, or second half. Third quarter here for the Lady Jets. Has a little bit of ball movement, transition offense here for the Greyhounds. And now zone defense out of the Jets. A little bit of a switch up there as Moore tries to go up and gets fouled on her way. Headed to the charity stripe for 2.
And that's probably one of the adjustments that those Lady Jets made at halftime. I mean, Fort Scott hasn't hit a 3, so let's play some zone. If we're not as worried about them hitting an outside shot, let's crowd that paint and make it physical.
Keep the underneath protected, and they sure have so far. I mean, 4 points in 2 minutes and 20 seconds is certainly nothing to boast about for the Greyhounds, but defensively they've been super sound, and the Jets just haven't been able to find their rhythm offensively.
And one thing that'll help out this,
as Poulain gets a lane violation, fell forward. So that will be null and void. 0 for 2 on the trip to the line there from Moore.
yeah, one thing that might help out this Jets defense is if the Jets offense can get a little momentum, put the ball in the basket, can kind of stop Fort Scott from pushing the pace.
King tries to break the 3 drought. Won't get it. Hardy gets the rebound. And it's a jump ball as the Jets will keep it on their side. King with the inbound now. King searching, finds Hardy underneath as she'll dribble to the outside, try to set up the offense. Meitzel bounces it over, and Coleman can't grab the mid-range 2. MacArthur takes off. Greyhounds fast break. finds Fultz, and a great pass leads to 2 points.
Man, MacArthur has been everywhere on these fast breaks. I mean, the second she gets the ball, she pushes that pace.
Mikesell responds in kind. She had been kind of cold so far in this third quarter, finally getting back from that.
And now this Jets defense can actually set up after a made shot, help them out a little bit.
And I think that made shot means so much more. You start to see things open up. Confidence is regained, at least from Mikesell especially. Fadina tries to take a mid-range two. Won't go. Rebound Lemons. Now the Jets transition the other way. Lemons Euro step underneath. Gets fouled on her way, and she'll be headed to the line for 2.
Yeah, a made shot can mean so much more than just the 2 points it gives you. I mean, coming out of a drought after halftime, that was a pretty important shot, and then they get a stop. Now right back to the line to try and score some more points.
28-14. So double the score. That's what Fort Scott has in store right now. Lemons first drops in for 1. And 2 for 2 on that trip from Lemons. Making the free throws count here in the third quarter. Back down to 12 points separating these two. Certainly obtainable if the Jets can get something going offensively. Blah gets called for a travel. And now the Jets starting to gain some momentum. They've scored on their last 2 possessions. Free throws on the last. On the one prior was Mikesell. So let's see if they can keep the tempo up. Cook working up top with Lemons. King. They'll go back and forth on this right side. Cook has to drive. 5 seconds on the shot clock, puts one up. Won't go. Rebound is tipped away by Riley Trammell. As Fort Scott was going to take over regardless. Not a bad possession, though, winding it all the way down. You'd like to see him try to attack an earlier option, though.
Yeah, they were trying to get that drive past their man and kick. Wasn't really holding up there. I mean, Fort Scott's man defense has been great.
MacArthur won't get the shot to fall. And Pascal at the baseline will get fouled. I believe this one is going against that of Mikesell. No, excuse me. That's Cook getting called for the foul. Atiana Cook. King will sub out for Hardy as they're going to try and get some board power on the floor now. MacArthur inbound to Rasaw. And now it's taken away by the Jets on a great defensive stand. Cook kicks it up top. Here's a shot from Trammell. It falls, the first 3 of the contest.
That was a good open shot. She had her time, set her feet, and just nailed it.
Been playing that underneath kind of as a forward, as she's listed as a forward, but takes the shot from outside of the arc. And now Pula says it won't be so easy. Back up to 11. Cook tries to work it inside, gets it to Hardy. The layup is good. Like to see both of these teams starting to come alive here. Halfway through the third quarter, we'll take a break on Fort Scott Sports Live, presented by Crocan.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Selling equipment can be a hassle, whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire. The time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com.
Back on for Fort Scott Sports Live. 30-21, 9-point separation for the Greyhounds. 4:12 remaining in the third quarter.
And we see Moss check back in for Fort Scott, bringing some size down low. She's been checked out for most of this third quarter.
Yeah, and I would say that's mostly due to the fouls. Moss sits at 2 right now, and going into half she had to, so it's just been a little bit of a cold game for her off the rip. Pascal gets it underneath. Moss fights through and one.
And right after getting subbed back in, yeah, she's got some energy. She fights down low, gets great position. I mean, right under that net. Pretty easy shot from there, just puts it in.
Tiana Cook called for the foul. That's her third. And now Moss with the and one free throw off the back iron. Trammell gets the board as Cook looks to set it up. Hands it off, Lemons to Coleman. Coleman takes a three, short. Rebound MacArthur. Aggressive defense once more out of the Jets. MacArthur gets fouled on the drive, and she'll be headed to the line to shoot two. Gotta say, I don't love that transition D from Tiana Cook. You know you're at 3 fouls and kind of get a little too physical underneath swatting at the ball. That's a player that's been in for a majority of this matchup and now probably gonna sit out until the final 5 minutes.
Yeah, and MacArthur is so fast. I mean, you just got to cut her off early. You cannot let her get that deep into the paint, especially on that transition look there. You got to keep her up top of the key.
12 goes to 13 as the deficit grows for the Jets. Lemons checks out for Crabtree. Cook also subbed out for Mikesell. Coleman trying to work the underneath. Looks for the kick out, takes the mid-range 2. No good off the board.
And Coleman's been more aggressive this half. She's taking it upon herself to try and get this team back in the game. Unfortunately, so far, it hasn't quite worked out.
Yeah, I'd like to see a couple more passes out of that. Just a really contested shot at the mid-range selection. Pascal gets underneath and grabs a 2 in retaliation. Expands it to a 15-point lead. Both teams on pace to score double the amount of points they came into this quarter with. Coleman drives down, faces the post. Trammell gets fouled, and I believe this one's going against Pua. And that it is.
I love that defense, though, from Pula. I mean, a great double team. When they least expected it, just a little bit too soon, a little bit too physical there. Draws a foul.
Yeah, Pula called for her 3rd foul. As Mikesell gets the inbound to Trammell. Trammell, the only player to hit a 3 so far tonight. Crabtree kicks it to the edge. Back to Crabtree. She wants one, won't get it. Rebound Hardy as it slips away into the grasp of Rasaw. Over to Pascal. And a good physical bucket from Moss as she grabs 2 and lengthens it to a 17-point game. 38-21, clock inside of 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Mikesell working the perimeter with Crabtree. Crabtree hands it off to Trammell. Trammell back to Crabtree on the left wing as she drives, goes underneath and is fouled on her way. 2 for Crabtree.
Yeah, Crabtree that time just had 2 defenders on her, so she leans into the contact, bringing her to the free throw line to try and get this one closer.
That foul goes against Jada Pascal, freshman out of Kansas City, Missouri. Fedina comes in for Pula. Pascal sitting at 2 fouls after that one, so she'll remain in the game. Crabtree's first is good. There's a little miscommunication there with Fedina and MacArthur. Maybe a mental game here as Crabtree boots up for her second. And we'll get it. Back to a 15-point contest. Moss up top. Works it to Fedina on the right corner. Back underneath, Moss draws a reach. Hardy gets called for a foul.
And this Fort Scott team has just been so physical coming out of halftime. I mean, they're really laying it down, getting to the paint. I even saw MacArthur down there setting a screen to another big woman down there.
Well, Letitia, I believe that's her first, but that is bonus for the Greyhounds. So now Moss will get to head to the line and makes it. Costly fouls now for the Jets with 1:09 remaining here in the third quarter. And she'll go 2 for 2 on that visit. Great job from Moss making them count up top. Crabtree drawing up the motion, and King is deflected underneath by Fultz.
Yeah, Fultz coming from behind, you know, a little bit of a surprise there. Didn't expect her to get that speed.
Up top with Crabtree. Underneath, Crabtree puts up a floater. That was premature. And Moss takes it away for the Greyhounds. MacArthur cuts her way down. Mid-range 2, won't go. Rebound King. King back across the way to Crabtree as she sets up the offense. Pascal at the top of the key, guarding the points as Moss rotates off of her coverage to try and double team. Here's Mikesell underneath, passes it away to Hardy, but gets called, or gets a whistle before that happens, as Mikesell will be headed to the line here. Lindy Mikesell, Afton, Oklahoma, graduate of Afton High School. Sophomore guard, standing about 5'9", pretty tall guard that the Jets have got themselves, or got their hands on.
Yeah, she's shown some skill this game. I mean, has a pretty good handle of the ball, can slice down low, shoot a little bit.
No more shot clock here as game clock winds down inside of 10. Fedina to Moss. Rotating the perimeter with Pascal underneath. Moss tries to get the 2. She's fouled on her way. 2.9 seconds remaining. Hardy gets called for her second as well. And a costly one, as this will give Moss a chance to bounce in another 2 points. Moss currently sitting at 8, trying to reach into that double digits bag for herself. Fultz into the double digits as well at 10 points, 2 fouls. Moss misses on her second. And the Jets will not get anything off in time. 41-25 is the score as we boot up for the fourth quarter here on Fort Scott Sports Live. Presented by Croc-Can. We'll be right back after this break.
Call service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, well, outstanding in their field. Calls carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Calls continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com. You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Back on Fort Scott Sports Live, 10 minutes remains in this contest as the Greyhounds lead by 16. Blah to start off with the ball. Coming down the stretch of this contest, which has been real high energy, not high scoring though, as Pula loses track and Mikesel will also let loose.
The Jets have been struggling with these inbound passes all day. Oh, Fort Scott's inbounding it.
Fort Scott, on the other hand, not so troublesome on the inbound. They've been working it underneath and getting some shots off. I don't think they've been too lucrative on the scoring, but certainly with opportunity. MacArthur takes it underneath, then drops in the bucket for 2. Nice 2 points to kick off the fourth quarter.
It's definitely been a different half than that first one. The first half, although they were moving with some speed, they just couldn't finish those shots. This half, we've starting to see some rhythm from both sides.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Jets kind of get back in their groove. They had about a 3-possession spell that they were able to put together some good shots. Only one of them came away empty-handed, and ever since then, it's been pretty dry for Northern Oklahoma. King underneath, puts up a shot, is fouled, and we'll head to the line now. That one did not fall. 9:07 on the clock.
Pretty good job from King just catching the ball. I mean, it was a tough pass, and it was a tough shot to try and get up with some physicality. Gets her to the line.
King's first will be off the back iron. And still nothing really going in favor of this Jets squad as they go 0 for 2 on that visit. Right now, Jets are shooting 17%, so they brought it up by about 0.2% from halftime there in the third quarter. Fort Scott, on the other hand, 37.8% from the floor. You just would like to see a bit of a higher yield Finding the opening is Fedina, can't connect. Rebound, Fultz, who finds Fedina underneath again, trying to kick it back out, and it's taken away by King.
Some pretty creative passing there, maybe just getting a little bit too wild with it, but some good stuff overall. Had some shots that they might have passed up.
Crabtree up top, swings it to Mikesell. Mikesell drives underneath and finds a charge. And she looks like she's in disbelief with that call, as the rest of this Northern Oklahoma Jets bench is in agreement with her.
We haven't seen a charge tonight, so the first one.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's your take on that one, Zach?
I mean, I thought she was pretty stable there defensively. I mean, I thought she got her feet set. But they really haven't been calling them all night, so I don't really know.
It's a touchy call, definitely a judgment kind of call, as we get a foul called at the top of the key on the Greyhounds side. But like I was saying, kind of a judgment call, especially I feel like the one thing that was leaning towards the block was the fact that there were two bodies there that made contact with her. And I feel like whenever that happens, you usually see the blocking foul come in and not the charge. But I would agree. I think Moore did have her feet set. Just a bit of a weird timing, you know, like you said, with there not being so many charge calls in this contest. And now the Jets really not getting their way on their side of the floor as a double dribble is called.
Yeah, they didn't even have the ball that long that time. Pretty unfortunate spell for them.
Just got to dial it back in. Can't let the mental game defeat you. Only down by 18 at this point, as Fedina gives it off. Fultz to Pula. Shot clock inside of 10. Underneath to MacArthur. MacArthur back out. Pula has to take a shot soon. Fights through physicality and gets the two shots from the line.
And that really just is Pula's signature move. I mean, we've seen it tonight. She's gotten down there like 5 times, just straight drive. Put your shoulder down, get physical, and she'll head to the free throw line again.
Right now, from the stripe, Fort Scott sits 9 of 13. That's just below 70%. And looking at Pula right now, free throws, she is 6 for 7. As we see some substitutions made. 45-25, now up to a 20-point game. And this is where things can really get out of hand here for the Jets. You start letting the ball go, as we see there from Lemons. All of a sudden, Greyhounds feel like they don't really have much to lose with a 20 points lead, and the Jets only having 25. MacArthur puts up a 2, won't go, rebound Cook. And Cook will draw the reach foul from MacArthur, as things starting to breed some stoppages in play here.
And yeah,
lots of fouls being called.
In a defensive game like this, it's kind of hard to tell, you know, how should I try and come back after our offense has been not working so far in the game. And yeah, it's just tough to try and think of a creative way to beat this defense.
Trammell's shots won't fall, as Pula gets an easy fast break layup and drops in another 2. 47-25, as we're inside of 6:30 now. Crabtree on the far wing. Works it to Cook, trying to get inside as she knives her way, and off the side rim, won't go, rebound Moore. MacArthur chucks it deep. Fedina back to MacArthur. Underneath, Rasaw gets it tapped out of her hands, and now it'll stay with the Greyhounds.
And this might be the point in the game where I start to tell my players to slow it down, but that Fort Scott team, they're still moving and grooving, pushing it up and down the court with this 22-point lead.
Hard to feel that slow down pace, because usually, you see contests at this level, 22 points, very achievable in 6 minutes. But right now, just the difference in the offenses has just yielded such a low-scoring game. Right now, sitting at a total of 72 as the shot clock winds down, and Greyhounds will get a violation. And that's certainly not a loss for them. I mean, you wasted as much clock as you possibly could, and if they keep doing that, I think the Jets actually won't have enough possessions to work this one back within range.
Yeah, it's really just about limiting mistakes at this point for Fort Scott. You want to not turn the ball over, play some good, hard defense, and that's really what you're looking for.
Crabtree does a great job there. Cuts her way inside of the paint. Grabs 27 now for the Jets. Pula, spin move, bang! Bumps it back up to a 22-point lead. Trammell to the right corner with Cook. Inside, Crabtree finds another lane. Gets it to go.
Another great cut there from Crabtree, and pretty great teammate chemistry there. Right when she cut, the second she cut, it was right on her hands and able to make a good layup.
Yeah, a lot of fast-paced play, especially out of the Greyhounds. Not something you'd expect at this point in the game. Wasaw gets the board. Pascal gets a board. Foul called on the floor. Who's it going against? I believe this will stay with the Greyhounds. And that it will. Crabtree was just a little too low as Pascal tried to go up. And we'll take a break here on Fort Scott Sports Live. 49-29 is the score. We'll be right back.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot.
Back on Fort Scott Sports Live as the inbound gets tipped away. And now headed to the Jets. 49-29, 4:41 remaining in this fourth quarter. A couple of players in foul trouble right now as we look across the board. 3 fouls for Pascal and Pula on the Greyhounds side. And then on the other side for the Jets, 3 fouls for Hardy, 3 for Trammell, and then 4 for Cook. All 3 of which are in the game. Coleman trying to work the line. Hardy goes up and gets fouled on her way. She'll be headed to the line for 2 now, 4:12 on the clock.
Another big-on-big pass there. I love to see it, just get into the paint. And a lot of times if you get deep enough in the paint, you will draw a double team. And that time, Great pass.
Hardy with a big opportunity at the line here to try and cut it down back inside of 20. I mean, these are big free throws. Try and kickstart some offensive movement. And both of them land flat.
Yeah, they've been kind of struggling from the free throw line all night. Maybe just a little bit uncomfortable here.
That foul was charged to Caitlin Foltz, her second. Foltz with the ball now, kicks it out to Pascal. Pascal back inside to Pua. Pua pulls up, won't go, rebound Crabtree. Crabtree's been great here in the fourth quarter. As she loses the ball, Coleman has a lane, underhand layup to the buckets. (49-31). Clock ticking inside of 3:30 now. As Rasaw loses the ball, it's Cook. Fast break for the Jets, in for two. And 4-point swing just like that. Things start to get a little more dicey than you'd like to if you're the Fort Scott Greyhounds. We'll take a break here with this timeout. 3:17 remaining. We'll be right back.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Selling equipment can be a hassle.
Back on Fort Scott Sports Live. Nearing the 3-minute mark here tonight in the second game of this Greyhound squad. Currently 1-0, staring down the barrel of a 2-0 record if they can keep things together for the final 3:17.
Yeah,
MacArthur.
we've seen the Jets start to play some physical defense here and really challenge them. They've been able to creep back just a little bit. Fort Scott here to just keep their lead.
16-point deficit for the Jets as this ball breaks loose and will stick with the Greyhounds. Jets with an open opportunity there. They've been playing real aggressive here, closing out this game. Had a couple of steals, some takeaways, and all of a sudden cutting what was a 22-point lead down to 16. Big benefits from that. 33-49. Fedina looking for a pass opportunity. MacArthur has a three, won't go off the back iron. Rebound all the way outside of the perimeter. Foltz works it to Fedina. Back up top with Moss, and now over to Pula.
Another short clock here.
Here's Foltz, finds the underneath. Good for two. If you're the Jets, you really could not afford that after so much clock. Need something quick here to try and keep yourself alive in this contest. Cook finds the underneath. Coleman drives down and gets the two. Fort Scott will look to hang on to things here.
Another great read there from Cook. She's been playing some hounding defense the past couple minutes. She got the other steal.
Yeah, MacArthur just kind of prematurely stopped herself right across the half-court line. Moss will look to drive. Underhand layup, good for two. 53-35. Inside of 2 minutes now. As things slowly begin to look more and more out of reach.
Yeah, it's really getting into desperation time here for the Jets.
18 points separate. Shot clock at 5. Coleman's gonna have to pull up from range. She passes it underneath to Hardy, and Hardy is fouled on the shot. 2 free throws for Letitia Hardy.
And it was a terrific pass, but yeah, just taking a little bit too long on those possessions. You can't let that play clock tick all the way down when you're already down in the game so much.
Hardy went 0 for 2 on her last visit, knocks down her first here on this trip. And 2 for 2, combating that prior visit. Now MacArthur will be able to take this one inside of 60 seconds if the Greyhounds so wish. Pula out to Moss. Moss underneath. MacArthur tries to find a shot, kicks out. Pula, mid-range 2, no dice. Rebound Foltz. Kicks out to Fadina, and it makes its way out of bounds on the tipped ball. 55.3 seconds. 16 points is still the separation. Cook finds an open lane, drives in and knocks down the 2 and gets the and 1. MacArthur called for a foul. And Fort Scott head coach not too happy with the way that drive or that possession just went down. Expressing her disliking this as the free throw does not fall in. MacArthur kicks out. Moss looking for the underneath and called for a travel with 30 flat.
Really just getting to the end of this game. Not the worst possession in the world. You'd love to get a shot up, but just moving the ball around.
And I said that shot, that free throw did not fall. It did. 53-40. As Crabtree drives underneath and gets a drawn foul.
I mean, Fort Scott, I mean, they've made a good push in the second half. If there was just a couple more minutes left in this game, they'd really have a chance to get back in it, but just a little bit too late for them on this one.
Fadina gets called for the foul there as Crabtree knocks down her first. 53-41, and like you said, Jets have really worked their way back into this contest. Fort Scott just kind of losing their grip. And truly, I mean, if there were just a couple more seconds, could be, or a couple more minutes, could be a completely different game as they've brought this one all the way back to 11. It was once at 22. Clock will wind down and expire as the Greyhounds claim their second win of the season. The Jets will fall to 2-1. And that will conclude our contest tonight. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back with the post-game show here on Fort Scott Sports Live, presented by Crockett.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com. Call's service is outstanding in their field, especially for those that are stuck, well, outstanding in their field. Call's carries a wide selection of farm, industrial, and heavy-duty tires, all from the best brands in the business. And they've got farm service trucks ready to go. Plus, Call's continues to be the place folks go for car and truck tires, repairs, oil changes, and so much more. If you're in the market for new tires in Southeast Kansas, make the right call to Call's Service, 620-724-4121. See more at callservicellc.com.
Back for the post-game show here on Fort Scott Sports Live, presented by Crocan. 53-42, final score, 11-point difference for the Greyhounds as they take their second victory of the season here early on. Off to a great start, two pretty dominant performances. I would say, you know, obviously bigger gap in their first game than this one right here as they kind of let the Jets right back into it, but still, I would just say on the floor, a pretty dominant performance from the Greyhounds.
Yeah, and two players that I really saw make an impact was MacArthur. I mean, just getting up and down the floor. Her pace in transition play was so good. She had so many good passes to her teammates to get easy deuces on fast breaks, and she's just so quick and so hard to guard. The other one,
well, MacArthur had 6 points, 2 for 2 from the line, and 2 for 13 from the floor, as she was able to put up 6 points. The leading scorer for the Greyhounds was Pula with 16, and then I would say kind of a player to point out for me was Foltz. She was playing that forward position very well, got underneath, made some layups, and also made some great mid-range twos as well. Sticks with 6 to 8 from the field, and had only 3 fouls, kept herself out of any severe trouble. On the other side, though, you really only had one standout player, and that was Crabtree, who was able to put together 11 points, and there towards the end just really starting to dominate offensively and able to get things going to even bring it back to an 11-point game that the Jets were able to do.
yeah, Crabtree has been one of their best offensive players tonight, able to give them some juice on that offensive side of the ball. But one thing that the Jets can say is they definitely played some good defense tonight. I mean, they were physical throughout the whole game. They brought some energy throughout the whole game, and they might have got out-rebounded, but they were still able to compete there. It wasn't just a complete non-factor. Even though they had a size disadvantage, they were able to compete.
Yeah, they certainly were able to compete, and defensively early on, they gave themselves a lot of opportunity, even at halftime, being down by, what was it, 10, 12 points. You have that opportunity. That's only 2, 3, 4 possessions of difference in that game, and we saw them really bounce back from 22 to 11 there at the end of the game. Shows how fast this game can really flip on its head, especially when things start to get really sloppy for one team and the other team just starts capitalizing on opportunities. Would have liked to seen that a little bit earlier out of the Jets if they were going to try and make a run for this contest, but Fort Scott had it pretty much in their hands a majority of that contest, and they were able to come away with the win. And with that, we'll go ahead and sign off for tonight. Stay tuned. Fort Scott basketball comes back, men's this time on Saturday. So stay tuned for that on Fort Scott Sports Live, as I'll be on the coverage then. But once again, thank you for watching from me and Zach and the rest of Varsity Sports Live. We hope to see you all next time. Have a good night.
From the gridiron to the hardcourt, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at varsitysportslive.com.